Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
It's recording. Hi everybody. So, my webcam still sucks. So, once again, we're doing one of the fun camera videos. I don't have a lot to talk about today. Obviously, my evening was consumed with a really horrible awards show. I watched the MTV Movie Awards, which, I don't do often except for when I want nerdy things, which they always offer, because otherwise nobody would watch them. And I find myself extremely disappointed with the way it was produced and written and performed. It was just a horrible experience. And I only watched it for one reason. So it turns out that the whole 2 hours I spent hating the jokes that were offensive and not funny, and hating the fact that nobody had their timing correctly and it looked like they were extremely unrehearsed, only to watch the Catching Fire trailer, which was released today. And then I found myself very disappointed in it as well. So that was kind of sad, because what's the point of having watched this 2 hours of torture only to be disappointed by the thing I was actually waiting for? But, I've watched it a few more times since, and I've been thinking about it, and I realized that once again, just like they had to do with the Hunger Games, they can't show us anything that happens after, chapter 11 in that book, because, the Quarter Quell is a secret. It's supposed to surprise everyone. The readers were surprised, theoretically, by the fact that it happened. So I understand how they couldn't, take us to the arena again, because why would we go into the arena unless we knew that they were involved? So unlike the Hunger Games, where they made it very clear that Katniss and Peeta were, chosen in the reaping, and then they took us to, the countdown in the arena where they, leapt off their, spots or whatever. They're not going to do that for trailers of Catching Fire. And that's both good and bad, because people who read are going to be disappointed, people who read are going to be disappointed in the fact that they don't get to see any of that pre-movie, and people who haven't read are going to be really confused by the fact that we have a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I realize, obviously, that we've had pictures and stuff of Sam Claflin and Jenna Malone, and so we know that they're going into the arena, but I think that due to that suspense that we're supposed to be building up, that they're not going to show it to us directly in any trailers. Obviously, the arena is one of the, the biggest parts that you wait for and want to see, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any reaping or arena scenes, and we just get footage from the first, 11 chapters of the book, which today's trailer basically covered the first 11 chapters of the book, all of the major incidents. Obviously, the party is a really big deal. This morning we got the still from that, with Katniss and Peeta and Effie, and then in the trailer we got, Katniss and Peeta and Effie all walking up the walk, and she's, reminding them of how to act, and we got a scene, a picture, a scene of the house that it's held in, which is a gorgeous house in Alabama, I think, or Georgia, one of those two states. And it looks like they did really well with that. And then we also get the dynamic between Heavensbee and President Snow going, and just a lot of talking about how Katniss is causing a problem. One of the things I liked so much about the Hunger Games was that they took us to the District 8 uprising in the Hunger Games, so they can just allude to it now rather than having to go back to that, because in the book Katniss learns that the District 8 uprising happened, and so she's it happened in the past, we got to see it happen in the past, we got to see them, obviously we got to see them kill Seneca Crane rather than having, the book start off saying, oh, well, Seneca Crane is dead because they killed him because, he let me live. So I think that they did a lot of things in Hunger Games that set up really well for this movie, and I really think that the conversation between Heavensbee and President Snow about the need to kill the rest of the tributes is the closest we're going to get to any sort of, hey, the Quarter Quell is happening, we're going to put all the tributes back in the arena, it's going to be fun, that we're going to see footage-wise before the movie happens. And so I'm not, after thinking through all of that, after like sort of rationalizing why they did, I'm not as disappointed as I should be. As disappointed as I should be. So I'm going to watch it a few more times, and I'm going to keep feeling ways about it, and then we'll see what happens come November. So yeah, that's all I got to say today. Thank you. You're beautiful.
Happy VEDA, everybody.